With your mind.
Yeah. There you go. I like using my socks on.
Oh my god. You can't change the spots, man.
Can you see it? All right, George.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like just me and a couple of guys here I know that have been pretty quarantined. So we're just gonna, I guess, live stream some techniques that we've been working on our Tuesday, Thursday class. So it'll probably be helpful for the people that I guess we're only doing fundamentals and stuff, right? So I guess let's get into it. So we've been working Kimuras from everywhere, but we'll go back to the T Kimura just because there's a structure that you can use that applies to everything that we've been doing setup-wise. So go ahead, lay down. George, let me know what position looks best for us to see from here. So we're laying down this way, or should we lay?
No, don't lay that way.
Should we lay in
Yeah.
this direction here?
Yeah, that's much
All right,
better.
so hopefully everyone can kind of see what we're doing from here. So from the T Kimura, we had two options, right? There's the bottom, and then there's the top. The bottom knee attacks are when we prevent someone from coming up to their knees, and the other attacks are when someone decides to lay flat and not try to get up. Okay, so we were working from T Kimura here, right? So remember, we're talking about for bottom knee attacks. Okay, so Will tries to come up. We prevent him from coming to his knees by using the figure four. Okay, that means this space allows our bottom knee to come in. All right. Now we have 3 points of entry. We have a low by the hip, a medium by the arm, and a high, which is over the head. Okay. So the first is the low. So if his arm isn't in the way and our heel is able to come into the hip, we can either follow him to turtle or we can pull him to the back. Okay, so what does that mean? If he decides to come up to his knees, we can follow, take in our hook, come up and over, and take it back.
Should I move it?
No, it's okay. Just let it, I mean, if you can kind of see it.
Okay. It's hard to see the transitions.
I mean, if you think you need to pick up, is it going to be a little shaky or how are we doing?
Seems good.
Seems all right? Okay, cool. So, thank you, George. So, again, we come in with the bottom knee attacks, right? We went for the low attacks. So the other option is taking the back by lifting up this arm here and pulling him to the opposite side. So what does that mean? As I elevate this elbow, that allows me to pull him over, pulling myself in, and coming straight into the back, putting in a body triangle, standard hooks, or whatever, we can start attacking from there. So whether they come up to their knees or whether they decide to stay there, we can pull them to the back or follow them to the back. Now he decides to come up again, and look, from this T Kimura, we're not doing a figure four with our wrists here because if they power into us, it's actually difficult to hold. We want to do a hammer fist and pressure forward and reinforce our wrist here. So even if he tries to power through, we can put a lot of pressure here. We come in, bottom knee attack. Now we went for low. Let's say, for example, he uses his elbow to block that space. We can bring it higher and come into a medium attack, which is over the arm. Now, with that overarm, I can pull down, pull the knuckles to my chest, pull them up and over. I can start to angle off to the side, adjust the triangle, and take our choke from the back. Okay, so that's one of our medium attacks. All right. Coming into position, as Will comes up, again, we're looking at bottom knee attacks, right? Knee comes in, he blocks the low, he gets a little more wise, he blocks high. We can come even higher and come over the head. Now from here, I want to pull the elbow to my chest, kick down, and I'm going to pull myself up into the armbar position. Here, then from this, I can swing the leg over, coming across the hip line, and finish with our armbar. Okay, so let's look at that one more time. We've got Will comes up, knee comes in, low, which is taking the back, right? Whether I get my hook in, lift, etc. He comes up, I go medium, which is coming down on the arm, pulling him down, like a triangle. Or coming here, here, block, block, we come high. Kicking him down, play him up, I'm coming for have an active person, right, in this position. You get to the T Kimura decides to lay here, you know, like a dead fish, and he's just chilling out, right? We can always employ some top attacks. So some people like it, some people don't. It's really up to you, but you can start off with a really simple scissor choke. Some people like it, some don't. Just use it as an option. If it bugs his neck, you can use it as a transition to go into something else, right? So you can bring the leg over the top, drawing the heel to the chin, and then from there you should be able to see the back of the Achilles should hook right under his chin. Then I can start to extend my leg, cross my feet, and then from this position we can start to extend our legs and get a simple scissor choke here. Whether it chokes him or not, it really doesn't matter to me because I can always use it as a transition to come into something else. If he decides to stay, maybe he's blocking from doing that scissor position, I'm going to arc the leg around and bring it over and come over the top, okay? From here, we're going to lock an initial triangle. Not really that tight yet, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a hold of the sleeve. From this position, we can now open, turn our knees towards the floor, extending our legs. That makes it where I can relock an incredibly tight triangle, which you want to make sure you catch under the shoulder. And then from here, we should be able to take an initial choke. If he doesn't tap to the choke, we have, again, Kimura. If he doesn't tap to that push, we grab the wrist and the elbow for a stronger Kimura. And if he doesn't tap to any of those, and he's just, I don't know, some sort of weird Cirque du Soleil freak and just not tapping, we can always release, bringing his hand to the floor, tucking it behind his back, coming over the top, bringing his back off the floor, tucking his wrist behind the back, take a deep step across. Right, from here, we're going to go ahead and finish with the Kimura from the top. Now, let's go again. What's another option when he blocks the initial? Maybe I try to come around and he's trying to follow this leg and he's not quite letting me get to the position that I want. I can bring it out and around, and what I'm going to do is bring my knee over to my chest. I'm going to bring it across and connect it to his hip. Okay? From here, it doesn't matter if he's holding his belt or his hands. We're going to go into the cross Kimura, which means I'm going to start to pull down, windshield wiping this bottom leg through so that I come around, crossing my feet. If he still holds his hand in tight, doesn't really matter. I'm going to put my hands inside my thigh, compress, and we're going to go ahead and get a shoulder lock. You can even further secure that by bringing this around and trapping the head so that he can't roll out. Because if his head's out, he does have the ability to roll, but we can just follow him, which is no problem. And we can always roll back through and then come around the head so that we can prevent that roll and then get across more again. Okay? So, that's just for the people that haven't made it in for the Kimuras. There's a lot more that we've been working on, but the T-Kimura is a big foundational part of that. You have to learn about doing the Kimura from the top position, the attacks that we've been doing from the guard. A lot of different positions where we've been setting up with palm up grips, palm down grips. We could get into the palm up, palm down grip from the top position if you guys think that would be worthwhile.
From the half guard?
From side, and you can do from half guard too. So that was the T-Kimura, and those are our basic options that we use. How we get to the T-Kimura could be any number of ways. If you guys remember, before I get to the side control, we did it from a lot of different ways. Like if someone sat up, right, we decided to maybe push them off balance here, pushing the head out of the way, and we were rolling over, putting us in that T-Kimura, and then we did all those different options. We tried to come up, we come in, and then work all of our setups from there. Let's go back to side control. And let's go over some more basic setups for the Kimura, right? So when we were working for side control, we wanted to isolate this inside arm. So an easy way to do that is just to kind of walk the hips down, turning them, opening back up, and trapping that arm. Now, from here we always know about our basic crossface. If his hands are up high, that's when we would come with a palm up grip. You guys can see this here. I cover that with my chest. So when I'm in position, his hands are playing hindsight. All I do is bring my hand through, and my fingers make it so easy to come into here. And I just put my chest on top of his hand. So Will tries to pull his hand out. Try to put your hand out. Yeah, it's super difficult. Then from there, you just do basic setup, right? I start to bring my elbow over the head. I start to walk around to the north-south position. I draw him onto his side, and that puts us in the prime position. I'm only putting my leg up here just so you can see, but a prime position to start to attack all of our Kimuras to get to that power line so we can finish with that strong Kimura, right? And remember, we had a lot of options from here too. You know, depending on what he does with his hands, right? Whether he's going a palm-to-palm grip, belt grip, inside of the thigh grip. And I think we went over that pretty extensively in our classes, if you guys actually showed up. The fundamentals guys, if they came to the advanced ones. But, you know, if they do any type of palm-to-palm or hand grips, you can always use this free leg to pin here. You can bring the knee over the hands, right? His hands go inside of his hand, or his inner thigh. You can grab at the knuckles here. We can pull out. If you were to grip his belt, we get a figure four. We do a lateral pull to bring it up and around. Remember, we don't finish from the top. We always want to finish from that top power line position where I get the hand in the back, hit the shoulder, elbow to the floor, step across, and we finish with our super strong Kimura from there. But that was with that palm up grip, right? Very effective. If he started playing from here and he pummeled an underhook, right? The palm up grip really isn't a great option from here, right? So we can switch to a palm down grip. We can punch it down into the hip. And again, it's the same setup, right? I bring my elbow over, right? I start to walk around. I pull him towards me, weaving my arm through. And again, same position where we go into the Kimura, down, up and over, step through, and finish again. Okay. There was a million other things that we did for the Kimura. I'm not going to go through all of them, but just a quick refresher for some people that haven't been able to make it in. Not as much detail as we go into regular class, but just something to keep you guys fresh in your mind and not forget what we were working on. We got into the close guard with Kimura. We got into doing it from the butterfly guard. We got it from a lot of different positions already. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to go through some more. It's up to you. Or we just train.
Maybe the entrances.
Entrances.
Well, you already showed one actually. Never mind.
Yeah, palm up,
roll through.
palm down. Yeah, if you want to get to the T-Kimura, you get the roll through. Nah, I think we should be okay. We can do a little more next time instead of the end of the world. Well, hopefully it's not the end of the world. But we can do some more on the next one and go over the close guard, right? So we can do the close guard versions where, if you guys remember, when we were working from here, if you were confused as to why you can never Kimura something with the close guard, because you were like, palms in, pull down, hip escape, come up. And you're like, yeah, Kimura. And the guy's like, nah, I'm just going to hug you and push you back down. And I'm like, oh, shit. And pushes me here, and you get flattened out. Right? We're like, man, that never works. But we did go over how can we do that and how we can improve that setup so that it's not the palm in, hip escape, and use all this open space that no one in their right mind is going to give you. Right? So, you know, maybe on Thursday or Friday, we can go through live again how to do the setups more effectively from the close guard versus those big open coming up and doing all the stuff where you never used, even though you were taught that from your old jiu-jitsu days back from your white belt and your fundamentals and stuff. So we could probably do that Thursday or Friday, maybe even Saturday. It kind of depends on when, you know, the guys that aren't affected are free. So I mean, we're running very skeleton crew here. It's me and George and Will. So you know, we've all been quarantined for quite a while. We haven't been out. I'm working from home. I don't think Will's even doing any work right now. He's just chilling.
Yeah.
So I got George helping us out in the camera here. You know, like I said, we'll do the close guard. Probably, like I said, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll email out the link for you guys to see it. And we'll try to get the guys to do maybe some striking techniques and stuff. But hopefully you guys can use this to study a little bit. I know it's not the most cleanly structured because it's live, but just give you something to kind of digest while you guys are staying at home and doing the right thing and keeping yourself quarantined. But we appreciate all the people that are sticking with us, and we'll do everything that we can to keep you guys on some techniques, and we can do some stuff that you guys might be able to do by yourselves at home. We'll get to that maybe later. But you can always do your technical stand-ups. You can just do basic burpees, grab a belt or a gi, throw it over a bar, throw it over a pull-up bar. I mean, tons of stuff that you can do, but we can definitely do that next time when we come back into it. So, besides that, I think we're good. So, I guess we'll see you guys later, all right?